PR is all about storytelling, and influencers in media, they're telling the stories. So it's like this love relationship. Of course, there would be no PR without the media.
Welcome to our podcast, The Future of Hospitality. I am your host, Arjan Eikelenboom, and today our guest is Regitze Cecilie Rosenvinge, founder and PR strategist at Rose PR. And with Rose PR, Regitze helps European hotels to stand out to the Nordic audience. Let's find out why and how Regitze is doing this and what makes her approach so valuable. Regitze, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. Tell me a bit more about yourself before we dive into what you're doing exactly for European hotels in the Nordic market. I'm really eager to learn. And go ahead. Who is Regitze?
Well, that's a big question. I'll try to answer it in a few seconds here. Well, basically, I've been working in hospitality in almost 15 years. I'm from Denmark. But I have lived abroad most of my adult life, including 5 years in Berlin, latest, and then I came back here. I have a son who is 7 years old, and I'm self-employed, and I have been self-employed for, basically as long as I've been working with hotels and in hospitality, so 15 years. So I've been writing books about it, about self-employment and about storytelling for hotels as well. So that's also something I can put on my resume. But now I am managing Rose PR. Yeah.
Okay, let me start with why you started Rose PR, and then we walk a little bit back into how you started. Sure. But first, what inspired you to start Rose PR? And I think you started it this year, right?
I did. So we're in August now, and I started it in January, I think. It's quite new. Rose was basically an energy coming to me after many months of self-discovery. I guess you can say that, and I will talk about that in a few moments as well. It was this idea that came to me about, creating something beautiful, sustainable, and really authentic within the world of hotel PR. Specifically in Scandinavia. And I think the timing for me to start this was perfect, given the fact that I went through 10 months before where I had closed down my old company and I needed to find my way into something new. And after a long period of time, I found the courage to just do it. I just started it. It was like a Monday morning. I came back from delivering my son in the school and I said to my partner, I think I need to just do this now. It just came to me so strongly. And it was snowing around.
Okay, I want to take this energy because I like this. I want to do this now. So I want to dive deep into it. But before we do this, I want to understand, what did you do before that? And why did you close that chapter and make that jump?
So basically, as I mentioned before, I've been self-employed for, 14, 15 years, specifically within travel and hospitality. And it's been a wonderful journey. But last summer, the summer of 2024, I decided to close down this company. And it wasn't an easy decision because I'm very proud of everything that I achieved with the old company, which was more like consulting, social media, content creation on that side. But you can outgrow a business like you can outgrow a pair of jeans. So your business has the energy of your company, what you're doing every day has to match you as a human being where you are right now. And everything is a transaction of energy. And I just didn't feel that energy anymore. Something was off, and I felt it for a long time. I was not attracting the things that I wanted to attract. And so I decided, it was really not easy, but I decided in July last year, okay, it's time. It was a tough decision. But closing it down resonated with me. And I just knew I had to go into a different path of my life, discovering, okay, who am I really now? Who am I becoming as an adult with a 7-year-old child? It's not the same as when I started the business years ago, because we change, and so does business, right?
Right. So that is part of your self-discovery journey. I hear growth
Yeah.
in there. So tell us a bit more about the 10-month self-discovery journey. What did you learn?
So basically, I think a lot of things, right? And it really wasn't easy. And it sounds like, oh, that I went to Bali and that I met so many great people and I meditated. That's not the case. Unfortunately, I stayed here in Denmark trying to get a full-time job. And that is something I never did before, like an actual contract with a company that, full-time employed by someone else. The thought of it was pretty scary to me, and I had a lot of rejections to begin with, because getting a job is not easy, like, first of all. Second of all, when you've been self-employed for many years, it might even be tougher. And it turned out it wasn't for me at all. And I knew that, but I needed to try. I needed to have this experience. So, you can't do the same thing every single day and expect new results. And I was coming to that point in my old business. It was like an autopilot. I did the same things, met the same people.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit of what that was that you were doing, just in a few sentences? What was that business exactly about?
Sure,
so I can understand. Okay, I see that you grew out of that.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about
So
that?
the paradox is that I stayed in hospitality. I came back to hospitality because I will always be a hospitality woman. I love it, and that's my thing. But you can work with a different mindset and a different energy, and you could come into the industry from a different angle. So before I ran a consulting business doing content and as I said, more creative consulting, also storytelling, but more on I didn't really 100% find my way. I think when I think about it, it was not clear enough, neither to me nor to my audience. And I think that was part of the reason that I felt stuck. So I needed to be really 100% clear on what I wanted to do for the rest of my career. And that takes time. You don't just wake up one morning and you're like, oh, this is...
Oh, no, it's a process. It's a process of self-discovery. That's the self-discovery part.
That was the self-discovery part, right? And I had the toughest year, at least one of the toughest years of my life, I think, going through this, where I forced myself to do, self-development work and whatever, and do projects that I didn't necessarily enjoy. I just needed a different experience, and I needed to see things from a different perspective. And so I learned that. And I think somehow when I felt ready, it came to me that Monday morning in January this year, okay, you're ready. You've done the work. It's now or never. Do you dare to go that way, or do you want to do something else? And that's basically what happened. Yeah.
So you asked yourself, do I have the guts to dive into something completely new? And you decided, yes, I do, because I need to grow. I need to move on.
Right? Because we talk a lot about comfort zones, and a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. And I found out that in the past year and a half. So, of course, the world of PR is not completely new to me. I had the network, and I had contacts, and I also did PR for hotels before, but not on this level. So that was the beginning of Rose. I think myself a beautiful, very authentic energy. I put it in it from the beginning. Yeah.
Right. So you just came back. That's when we started this conversation. Right before you mentioned that you just came back from a trip through Europe, all work related. Can you tell me a little bit about that before we dive into what it is exactly what you're doing? Because I think you will touch some pointers there.
Yeah. So, I mean, my business demands some travel activity, and that's what I love. I love to travel. It gives me energy. At the same time, I need a lot of balance and in my life. So it's like this active balance all the time of being active and being passive. I found out that's what I need as well. But of course, when you run a PR agency for hotels, you travel. You travel to meet clients, to meet people, and to understand what the product is that you're working with. I just went, basically 10 days in Germany, so it's not super exotic, at least not for me being from Denmark. But it was great. And I was in Hamburg and I was in Berlin to meet great clients and great people. It was really interesting, and I came back yesterday. Yeah.
Right. All right. How do you help hotels stand out in Scandinavia? What is your approach?
So basically what we do is, it's pretty straightforward. We provide PR for European hotels who would like exposure on the Nordic market. That's it. So
Right. That's it. Okay. So, but there is more to it. Otherwise, you wouldn't build a business around it. So, I want to learn from you. Why is it different? How is Scandinavia much different from the rest of Europe?
I think Scandinavia is. Of course, I love it. I'm Scandinavian, but there is something about that. We're very rooted as like people. We love to travel. We love to see the world, and I think it's literally in our DNA since the Viking ages. Everywhere.
Oh, I know. It's not much different from the Dutch.
Right?
I think
it's incredible. I can go on a little island somewhere far, far away, and I meet a Danish person. Like Jesus Christ, everywhere I go, they are there. So jokes aside, Scandinavia, it's quite a specific market, and it's very interesting to market a product here because we really know what the people here want. They want a connection, authenticity, community, and they understand these things. So I think if a hotel or travel brand really wants traction on the Nordic market, they have to understand the mentality of Scandinavian people. For example, we care a lot about a good hotel breakfast. That's
quality and identity.
Quality and identity and connection. That's our thing in general. So we tend to really dive into that a lot and appreciate the brands that can deliver that. Yeah.
So, for my understanding, I think I know what you mean because I'm similar to that. So, is it perhaps that travelers from Scandinavia tend to visit independent hotels more than big chains like Americans do?
Definitely. There's a huge difference in the way that I would say a Scandinavian person travels and an American person travels. There is not necessarily one is better than the other, but you have to understand the Nordic mentality. So, for example, nature plays a huge role. Rose PR is doing PR for an amazing project in Norway now, in the Polar Circle. So you can't get more north in the world than that. It's amazing.
I don't think so either.
Exactly. And the hotel is being built right now, and it really taps into this whole nature, sustainability way of thinking. That attracts this kind of people who value these things and also slow traveling. We're seeing a whole movement around quiet luxury, which I find super interesting because quiet luxury is the opposite of, loud luxury, gold, opulence, waiters in white like suits and stuff like that, which is also amazing. But I think the world is craving something very different. And we do crave this connection and authenticity. So
I think that is getting stronger and stronger, especially after COVID.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that the whole approach needs to change, and I see that people are changing their approach. You do the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to change with the world and with the demands of travelers. And it's not only in Scandinavia that people would like to explore this quiet luxury scene more in nature and whatnot. But we're just really good at it. We're good at creating products here who resonated with this kind of mindset. And we do PR for hotels also in other parts of Europe, but who understand this mindset, right? Who understand that this is more than just a hotel. It can be a destination for community, a destination for wellness, something deeper with more integrity. But that's also what
more integrity. That is the difference between pre-COVID and post-COVID. Can you maybe give some more examples that is for you very important that you have made changes to in your way of work?
Yeah, well, apart from it being a personal one, I can really feel that this is something that is on my mind. And a lot of the people I know who love to travel, they are also concerned with these things. because the world is just crazy. I mean, there's so much noise out there. And I really think, well, I'm a strong advocate of talking about businesses and lives being led in a more holistic and natural way. It doesn't have to be fast paced and everything doesn't have to go viral. It can still be quality. It can be slow, and slow is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And I think it takes time really for this to really fully integrate, but we're getting there.
It's funny how I keep hearing this. You mentioned it, and it's not the first time. And it really makes me feel good that we kind of stepping away from the fast-paced and focus more on realness, authenticity, and quality from the heart out, and what really people really need, and then maintaining the identity of the property. So tell me, what kind of hotels do you work with in Europe?
So we're still fairly new, but we are definitely, I'm very appreciative of my team and I experiencing the success we are. And I think it's because we're very clear on what we offer and who we'd like to work with. So basically hotels and retreats. So that's all we do. It's hotels and retreats. And mainly those who understand this way of thinking, sustainability, community, nature, authentic experiences, farm to table, quality. That means a lot to me. Also, because PR is not something you can expect really fast results with, like in a month,
No.
So that's why we run the agency like we do. We cultivate connections to journalists, to media, proper, actual, real connections. This whole idea of, spray pitching things to get it out there, to spread the word as much as possible to as many people as possible. That's totally dead. And I wanted to do something else with Rose, something very authentic that resonates with the audience.
You're fine-tuning, and I like that. So how do influencers and media fit into your storytelling approach?
So basically, I think, PR is all about storytelling, and influencers and media, they're telling the stories. So it's like this love relationship. Of course, there would be no PR without the media. And I think that media people, journalists and influencers, because we work with both sides, they're really a powerful amplifier in what I would call strategic storytelling. So we need them, right?
Strategic storytelling. Yeah. Okay, I like that.
They amplify that, right?
Yeah.
I think they don't just talk about a brand, they interpret it through their own lens. And this is very important because that's what you call connection, an emotional connection you get with a brand. And that is the modern way of doing storytelling. You connect a hotel, a brand, with the end consumer through emotional storytelling. And a tool to do that is by using the right journalist, by using the right influencer. Yeah.
Right. What I'm hearing is also, I think that the hotels that you work with, it's not much about staying over for a night or 2 nights. This is more like the hotel itself and is a destination.
In many cases, one of the clients we work with have like a policy, if you stay at least, I think it's at least 3 nights. One, because it might be difficult to get there. You have to spend time getting there. It's in the middle of nature. But also this whole way of thinking that don't just fly around, land, be grounded, sense, what is this really about? And this really taps into this whole thing we're seeing that hotels are developing from being accommodation providers into places of, a destination really for a community, for people to meet each other. And that's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you translate the identity of a property, destination, the particular property into the language or to the language of the people in Scandinavia, the travelers from Scandinavia. We're talking about Norway, we talk about Sweden, Finland, Denmark, maybe even Iceland. I mean, yeah, that is probably what you were targeting at, Scandinavia. Yeah. So you talked about your team. So you work with other people. Do you work with people from those countries?
Yes, I do. And this is the whole idea of creating a modern, sustainable business that I can't do everything. I'm a one-person show basically here in Copenhagen, right? And I have an assistant, but I don't personally cover each region in Scandinavia. That would be impossible. But I want to do it good. I want to do it with people who live there, who understand the market, who live and breathe it every day. So I have some of the best freelance PR people in the market in Oslo and Stockholm and so on, who are connected to Rose PR. Yeah.
Oh, nice one. And how do you define great storytelling in the hospitality industry?
Well, great storytelling is... I feel like I keep repeating myself, but that's really because that's what it's all about.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's about you tap into the emotions. So you move very far away from what it originally was about, the hotel rooms, the amenities, home away from home. We're just a place to stay and explore the destination. You create a sense of longing for this destination by kind of describing it like you would describe a person almost. So it gets very personal and it gets very emotional. The destination can maybe help you figure out a problem in your life. It can make you become a better person. I might be biased. I'm a little bit crazy because I work with hotels for so many years and I absolutely love hotels. But I think, hotels still hold so much power in terms of storytelling and community, and we're just seeing the beginning, right?
So what would be a common mistake you think that hotels still make in their PR strategy?
This is really a good question. I think more and more hotels globally are becoming more aware of their storytelling and their PR, which is a good thing. But of course, there's still cases where hotels treat their PR like advertising. And that's wrong in my thinking. So PR should not be about paid promotion because it builds on trust and authenticity. That's what it is. That's what the modern way of thinking PR is. So it's really hard to do PR for a brand that doesn't have a defined brand story or a clear brand identity. So you don't really know what you're doing PR for. And I still see that many properties, also restaurants, they come up, they have this great energy, and they close down after 3-4 seasons. Like, what happened? If you don't have a strong brand identity and a strong story, you're not going to go anywhere because people don't resonate with it. People don't understand what you're offering, right? So I still see that a lot. And also this whole one-size-fits-all approach that everybody can come visit our hotel, right? It's for everyone. So you need to create like a niche somehow and attract a certain kind of people that works better, usually. Yeah.
So where do you see the biggest growth potential for these hotel brands?
Well, there's so much. I think we're just at the beginning. We're seeing hotels really develop from being hotels into these massive communities. We have Soku, which is a great example. It's a Dutch brand. We have Six Senses. We have great brands, great hotel brands all over the world who are actually, grasping their own potential. They can become art shops or community hubs, or they can have micro bakeries. They can have chefs flown in from other parts of the world and attract a clientele who would like more than just staying in a hotel. They're willing to pay for more. They are more open-minded. They want to meet other people and really connect. And that's also a really important part of understanding the culture you're visiting, right? So they're staying there for more days and and integrating more with people there. And that's definitely, there's so much potential. And I think we're starting to see it really unfold in the next 10 years. Yeah.
Right. How do you make sure that you tell the right story that caters to your audience? Because I can only imagine, I try to see that image in front of me, because all of Europe, you just came from Germany. Maybe you could give me an example of the past 2 weeks. How does your day look like, or your days look like? You've been absorbing the identity of the hotels. I can only assume, with having the clientele in Scandinavia in mind. Can you walk me a little bit through that mindset and that journey in your head? How do you do that?
Well, first of all, you get a client and you have to get to know that brand, that client, as if it was a good friend. You really have to deep dive on the brand and spend time with it. And that's what I mean with the way Rose does PR. Might be, we're embracing this, I call it slow PR, not to be misunderstood because we're going to spend ages doing it. That's not the point. The point is that we'd rather have fewer clients that we have spent more time on than having a whole magazine full of clients that we barely have time to cater to. So we really sit down and we spend several days understanding this client. What is it about? Fine-tuning the brand story. Who are they trying to attract? How can they do that in the best way, and where to do it? Which outlets? There's a great journalist here. Oh, she's a perfect match to this, or this influencer would be amazing here. And then we kind of course, adjust the budgets and whatever, the practical stuff. But we spend a lot of time understanding and working with each client to make the best possible outcome in terms of PR. And it really is a lot about connecting the right people all over Scandinavia and telling the really good stories, right? So, yeah.
Right. I like it. I really like it. What, in your opinion, does success look like for Rose PR in the next few years? Let's have a look at, you just started earlier this year. I mean, I'm on the same path. We just started this year with our company, Guest Journey, and the podcast, actually. So give me a good lookout. How do you see Rose PR in the next few years?
Well, basically, I want to say that I'm very grateful for being in such a good path already, since we're quite new. So we just want to keep attracting the right clients, keep doing good work. And I think there's a lot of power in partnerships as well. So we already do partner with other PR agencies. So instead of seeing them as competitors, we're lifting each other. And I think that's
exactly how it works.
And this is also part of the mindset. You have to do it in a more holistic way. Otherwise you'll burn out. You might want to be the best, but if you want to be the best, you have to work with other people. Everything is a team effort. And we're embracing collaborations like that, which is very interesting and exciting. Right now, we're focusing on the European market, but who knows, maybe we go globally someday.
All right.
And, our playground really is Scandinavia. This is our home. This is where our mentality is. This is the market we know best. And I want Rose PR to be in the forefront of hotel PR in Scandinavia, point. So I do want to be the best, and we're working very hard to get there.
Well, you made a good start already. What advice would you then, because you partner with other PR agencies, other people, and I totally agree with you. It's all about relationship and partnerships. That's how we keep each other going and help grow. What advice would you give to others thinking about launching a niche agency like you have?
Stay focused. This is something I kind of, it was a challenge for me early in my life as well. I wanted to do everything, and you just can't do that. You have to stay focused and be very dedicated to exactly what you're doing. You have to work for what you want. Nothing is being served on a gold platter. And I really want to make this crystal clear, because we live in a world that likes to tell you that, quick money, easy wins, it's just around the corner. And this is being kind of amplified through social media, right? How to be a millionaire in a week, whatever. And it's ridiculous because good work takes time. And in order to do good work, you have to be focused. And so, stay focused and just, do good work.
Don't get distracted. I think that is a good addition to exactly what you're trying to say. Don't get distracted, especially with all that social media. Oh, I need that many likes, or I need that. No, it's about having your focus, know your goal, and keep your eyes on the ball.
Keep your eyes on the prize. It's really important, and do whatever it takes to get there. And if it is having a post-its all over your office, I don't know, but. Focus is really the power. It's a currency in today's world where distraction is all over the place, right? So,
I fully agree. All right, Regitze, I want to thank you for sharing your insight and talking about what you do, why you did it, why you started it. I hope this is inspiring for a lot of people. I think it could be. So thank you for being on our show.
Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Bye.